14th?
Oh, I don't know, ask these guys.
10th annual DCF Book Challenge. So I'll explain a little bit about the contest first. So here we go. So I have a series of questions here, and I'm going to ask these questions in turn to tables going around the room. After I read the question, I can read the question 2 times, but after I read the question, you'll need to confer as a group. That means you want to talk over very quickly and quietly what you think the answer might be. See if you can come to consensus on the answer. And then you'll direct your spokesperson at the table to give the answer to me. If I'm not sure whether it's a correct answer or not, because it might be close but not quite there, or it might be a little bit too far away from that, I'll defer to our expert library panel, who will confer amongst themselves, and then they'll arrive at a decision. So we'll be keeping tabs also of any missed questions. So if your table doesn't know the answer to a question, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to say pass. You'll want to say pass, and then we'll move that question will go to the table that has the Miss Bindergarten doll. So if you have the Miss Bindergarten doll, then the missed question will go first to that table, and then it'll continue in turn if they're unable to answer it and they say pass. Each time we try to get a question answered, a missed question answered by a table, we'll move the Miss Bindergarten doll down through the contestants as well, so we can know where those questions are to be answered. So we begin here with the B's. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
And remember, the goal here is that we're celebrating some great Dorothy Canfield Fisher books this year. That's the idea, is we're celebrating wonderful books, and this is a celebration about the books. And while we'll keep score and we'll announce final placings, we are here to celebrate some wonderful literature and to meet some new students and to celebrate reading. So here we go.
The Cat in the Hat is who's getting the question each of first.
Okay, the first time.
The first
So then after we ask you this first question, you'll pass the Cat in the Hat one time down, or one table over. All right, here we go. In the book Smile by Raina Telgemeier, the main character needs braces. She is bummed because she can't chew popcorn, gum, caramels, apples, or carrots. She thinks that maybe having braces will help her stop a bad habit. What is that bad habit? Okay, answer?
Is it chewing her fingernails?
Correct. Rainbow trout. In the book Ninth Ward by Jewel Parker Rhodes, Lanesha has a special gift. What is it?
She can see Bendy.
Correct. Pass that hat on to the Bobcats. There we go. Bobcats, your question. What was Melody's disability in Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper? Answer? Correct. 3 for 3. Moose. In After Ever After by Jordan Sonnenblick, what difficulties does Tad face as a result of his cancer treatments? Answer?
She's in a wheelchair?
Correct. Moose, you'll pass that on to the leopard frogs. Leopard frogs, your first question. In the book, The Fantastic Life of Owen Jester by Barbara O'Connor, what object fell off the train when Owen heard a loud thump? Answer?
Water Wonder 4000.
What was that?
The submarine.
Correct.
What?
Chipmunks.
Excellent memory.
In the book Driven, a photobiography of Henry Ford by Don Mitchell, we learn that General Motors was Ford's major competitor. GM was coming up with creative ways to make their models affordable. What was Ford's unrealistic belief? Answer?
That everyone could afford a car.
We're going to kick that one over to the judges panel. Yes, correct. Okay.
That was a guess.
All right, B's, round 2. In the book Prince of Mist by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, Roland, Max's friend, lives with Victor Cray. What is Mr. Cray's job? Jack? Correct. Lighthouse keeper. Jack, every now and then I get so excited, I'll just pop the answer right out. You have to go past that question. Rainbow trout. In the book Prince of Mist by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, Max's family moves near the sea into an old house. What does Max find in the house that he is very curious about and is later encouraged to burn? You sure can.
Change your answer.
Yeah, well,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It's the movie projector and the films that were in the projector. Correct. Okay, pass the hat. Bobcat. In the book Hero by Mike Lupica, what makes 14-year-old Zach special? Answer? You're right. He's got superpowers. Moose. In the book Mockingbird by Catherine Erskine Caitlin. Let me say that again. In the book Mockingbird by Catherine Erskine, Caitlin carved the name Scout into the chest in a hidden place. What famous novel was the name Scout from? Answer? Correct. Moose. Pass that on to leopard frogs. Leopard frogs, here we go. In the book Sources of Light by Margaret McMullen, what did Perry do for work?
He was a photographer.
Correct. Chipmunks. In the book Kakapoo Rescue by Cy Montgomery, we learn these parrots are different. What makes them so different? Take one of either of those answers. Take one of either of those. Okay? What makes them different?
They're flightless.
They're flightless. Great. Correct? And another interesting fact about them is they live underground, right? They live in a burrow. Okay, bees. In the book Hero by Mike Lupica, how did Zach's mom spend a lot of her time? Yes.
Running Senate or presidential races.
Correct. Rainbow trout. In the book Star in the Forest by Laura Rousseau, why is Latali's father not with the family?
Because he got started playing football.
Correct. Bobcats. In the book Sugar and Ice by Kate Messner, name one obstacle she faces from the other skaters. Answer? Bullies. Yep, they cut holes in her tights, pour ketchup on her uniform, and ruin her skates. Moose. In the book Belly Up by Stuart Gibbs, what was being hidden inside the animals and smuggled into the country from Venezuela? Jewels. Specifically emeralds. Correct. Leopard frogs. In the book Stuck on Earth by David Klass, what is the most awkward moment between Tom and Michelle?
Pass.
Okay, so it will go to Bob. This goes, the hat goes here.
No, you guys keep the hat. No, leave it for the next.
Bobcat. In the book Stuck on Earth by David Klass, what is the most awkward moment between Tom and Michelle? Okay, answer.
When she was like high-fived
I don't think that's it. That's not the one we're looking for. Okay. Moose, most awkward moment between Tom and Michelle in David Klass's book Stuck on Earth.
Was it when they kissed?
When they kiss, correct? Okay, Moose.
And then you can have Miss Bindergarten.
So you'll pass Miss Bindergarten down one to leopard frogs. Chipmunks, your question. In the book Touch Blue by Cynthia Lord, why does Tessa's family want Aaron, a foster child, to come live with them? Answer?
Save the school and family out.
Correct. So the school won't close to save the school. Okay, Pine, you'll keep catching us. Hopefully, if I can throw it well enough. In the book The Year of Goodbyes by Debbie Levy, what country does the family flee from? In the book The Year of Goodbyes by Debbie Levy, what country does the family flee from?
The Netherlands?
We're going to move that question to leopard frogs.
Germany.
Correct. So Miss Bindergarten goes down one, and Rainbow Trout, your next question. In the book Touch Blue by Cynthia Lord, what is Aaron's talent?
The trumpet.
Correct. Bobcats. In One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia, what part of the house are the girls not allowed in? Answer?
The kitchen.
Correct. Moose. In The Danger Box by Blue Valiant, an old journal was found in the box. Who wrote the old journal?
Charles Darwin.
Correct. Leopard frogs. In the book Half Brother by Kenneth Opel, what skill do they want to prove that Zan is capable of?
Communication like a human.
Communication like a human. And do you know what kind of communication they're going to use? I'm going to give you credit for it.
Sign language.
Sign language, that's right. Chipmunks. In the book Milo, Sticky Notes, and Brain Freeze by Alan Silberberg, Milo has to move a lot. He says his house number 4 was in the fog. What happened that made him feel like it was in the fog? Answer?
His mom died.
Correct. Okay, these. In Turtle in Paradise by Jennifer L. Holm, what does the diaper gang, how does the diaper gang become rich? Answer?
They find the treasure.
They do. Rainbow Trout. In The Grimm Legacy by Polly Schulman, what sense does Elizabeth use to determine if an object is magical or not? Correct? Make sure, and Okay, make sure you're conferring with the group, just to let everybody have a chance to weigh in. Bobcat, in the book Dream of Night, what might happen to the horse? Answer?
He could get used.
I think that's not correct. And we're going to go to, where's Miss Bindergarten? Oh, Annie's got it. Okay, Annie, give it a shot. So, down to answer? You could die. Okay, we'll take that. Is it correct? And Moose, in the book Milo, Sticky Notes, and Brain Freeze by Alan Silberberg, Milo goes with his friend Hillary to a party at Summer's house. The girl he has a crush on. What kind of party is it? Answer? Correct. Leopard frogs. In The Reinvention of Moxie Roosevelt by Elizabeth Kimmel, what special talent does Moxie keep secret from the other students at her boarding school?
She could play the piano.
Correct. Chipmunks. In the book Murder Afloat by Jane Conley, what was the work done by the people on the Ella Dawn?
Oyster fishing?
Yes, correct. In Grounded by Kate Kleiss, what job does Darylyn's mother get after the plane crash?
Hairdresser?
Hairdresser at the funeral home. Rainbow trout. In the book Ninth Ward by Jewel Parker Rhodes, what hurricane floods the Ninth Ward, causing Lanesha to fight for survival? Katrina, correct. Bobcats. In the book Smile by Raina Tellemeier, Raina needs a lot of dental work, which she dreads. Why is this? Why does she need the dental work?
She knocked out her two front teeth.
She what?
She knocked out her two front teeth.
She did, correct. Moose. Where did the Whiz Kids team go in the book Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper? Answer?
Washington, D.C.
Correct. Leopard frogs. In After Ever After by Jordan Sonnenblick, what do best friends Jeffrey and Tad have in common?
They both had cancer.
Yes, they're both cancer survivors. That's right. Chipmunks. In the book The Fantastic Life of Owen Jester by Barbara O'Connor, what animal did Owen capture and put in a cage?
A frog?
A frog. A little frog in a cage. In the book Driven, a photobiography of Henry Ford by Don Mitchell, we learn that Henry Ford believed in equal opportunities. He hired minorities and people with physical disabilities, but he was known to be very prejudiced against whom?
What's the question?
In the book Driven, a photobiography of Henry Ford by Don Mitchell, we learn that Henry Ford believed in equal opportunities. He hired minorities and people with physical disabilities, but he was known to be very prejudiced against whom? Answer?
Jewish people?
Correct. Rainbow trout. In the book Dark Life by Cat Falls, where does Ty spend his whole life living? Correct. And remember to make sure we're conferring before we answer if we're there.
The enthusiasm.
Yes. Bobcats. In the book Dream of Night, why doesn't the horse Dream of Night trust humans?
Because he's been treated hardly.
Correct. It's been abused by humans. Moose. In the book Sources of Light by Margaret McMullen, why do Samantha and her mother move north again? Answer?
Down south, there is a lot of action with black people.
Yeah, so they're moving for mom's job and to get away from racial violence. Leopard frogs. In the book Dark Life by Cat Falls, who or what caused the sinking of Hewitt family's income?
Sea liking?
The Sea Blight Gang. Correct. That very few of these birds have been found. Approximately, how many are there?
Jason.
87. It's right on the money. Bees. Where was Latali's dad kidnapped in the book?
In the Grand Canyon.
I think we're gonna move that one down one. Ms. Bindergarten goes down to bobcats, and Rainbow Trout, you get the next question. In the Strange Case of Origami Yoda by Tom Engelberger, what is origami?
Giving advice and how to teach it.
Correct. Bobcat. In the book Sugar and Ice by Kate Messner, what happens just after Claire qualifies for nationals? Answer?
She quits
She quits.
skating.
Correct. Moose. In the book Jake by Audrey Columbus, who comes to help out while his mom is in the hospital?
His grandpa.
His granddad. Leopard frogs. In the book Stuck on Earth by David Klass, what evidence does Tom Filbert find out about a local factory?
It's dumping all their waste in the river.
Correct. Chipmunks. In the book The Year of Goodbyes by Debbie Levy. Okay. In the book The Year of Goodbyes by Debbie Levy, something's talked about in that book called a Posey album. What is that? Answer?
Photo album? What else? What else?
We need a little more.
There's a girl.
Bobcat. Nothing wrong with that. Yes. Bobcats, what do you think?
It's an album in which your friends write and it plays your friends that you want to remember. Like poetry.
Oh, Jesus, yeah,
Yes,
like
poetry.
poetry, that's
Bobcat's correct. Bees. So Ms. Bindergarten will go to the mooses. Bees. What physical activity? I'm going to try another one. Moose.
Swimming?
Swimming, correct. So Ms. Bindergarten to the leopard frogs, rainbow trout. In the book Mockingbird by Catherine Erskine, what is the project that Caitlin is insistent on she and her father finishing?
Finishing the check.
Correct. Bobcat. In the book Belly Up by Stuart Gibbs, what did the hippo sometimes do to spectators? Yes, he threw his poop. I think hippos have a talent for that with their tails, right? It sort of works like a propeller and a manure spreader, as it were. In One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia, the girls spend time at a summer camp. Who sponsors the camp? Moose, do we have an answer? Who sponsors that camp? Correct. Leopard frogs. In The Danger Box by Blue Belliot, what does Zuni do when things become difficult or stressful for him?
Starts jabbing his chin. Tapping.
Tapping his chin. No, that's not what we have here for an answer. But he does do that.
Yeah. I think
We're going to take that as a correct. Chipmunks. Where does Zan end up at the end of the book Half Brother by Kenneth Opel? So chipmunks, do we have an answer? The jungle. No. Leopard frogs.
What was the question?
Where does Zan end up? By Jennifer Holm. What happens to Turtle's money?
Her mom's boyfriend takes it.
Yes. Takes it to Cuba. Okay. From the Grimm collection.
Magic hairbrush.
A magic hairbrush. Bobcats. In Grounded by Kate Kleiss, what saved Daryl Lynn Oakland from being killed in the plane crash?
She was grounded for going fishing.
Yes, she'd been grounded by her mother for going fishing without permission. Moose. In The Reinvention of Moxie Roosevelt by Elizabeth Kimmel, what did Moxie's parents name after her? Oh, yes, correct. And I misspoke that question, but you guys got it right anyway. Leopard frogs. In Murder Afloat by Jane Conley, how did Ben end up on the Ella Dawn? Answer?
He was kidnapped off the streets.
Correct. He was kidnapped. In the book Smile by Raina Tellemeier, who did the author use as the main character?
The author used herself.
Yes, when she was younger, but the author used herself. Bees. In the book Ninth Ward by Joel Parker Rhodes, who survives the storm with Lanesha?
Mom.
No. Chipmunks. In the book Ninth Ward by Joel Parker Rhodes, who survives the storm with Lanesha? Answer?
Grandmother.
No. Let's see. Bees just Did bees try? The triangle boy.
And the dog.
The boy and the dog, correct. Her friend Tayshawn and the dog Spot. Rainbow trout we have as a tool to get her words out.
A computer that she can press with her phone.
Correct. It's a Medi-talker that she called Elvira. Bobcats. In the book The Fantastic Life of Owen Jester by Barbara O'Connor, what shape was the red spot between the bulging yellow eyes? Answer?
A heart.
Correct. Moose. In After Ever After by Jordan Sonnenblick, what deal did Jeffrey and Tad make?
The guy in the wheelchair would help the other guy. Well,
Do you want to, you know what you can do, because this is a somewhat involved question, you can defer to another spokesman for this question.
Okay, so the one in the wheelchair would help one get stronger, his arms get stronger, and then the one who was help getting help with that was going to help him with his math.
Correct. That was their deal. Leopard frogs. In the book Driven, a photobiography of Henry Ford by Don Mitchell, we learn that Henry Ford had a dream to build what?
Cars.
And there was one important concept, or one important thought he had about the car he wanted to build, the cars he wanted to build.
Cars everybody could drive.
Because why can't everybody drive one? There you go.
They're affordable.
Correct. Chipmunks. In the book Dark Life by Cat Falls, why did Gemma go undersea?
To look for her brother.
Yes, to look for her brother Ty. Bees.
No, not Ty. Her brother wasn't Ty. A sunken ship.
It is a ship under the sea. Rainbow trout. In the book Hero by Mike Lupica, who is Mr. Herbert? And what we're looking for here is his relationship to a character in the book. It's Zach's grandfather. Bobcats. Book The Strange Case of Origami Yoda by Tom Engelberger. Tom gets to dance with Sarah at the last PTA fun night. To what song do they dance? Answer?
The twist.
Correct. Moose. In the book Kakapoo Rescue, we learn about some unusual parrots. Where are these birds found? We're looking for a country here.
New Zealand.
Correct. Leopard frogs. What kind of animal is Star in the book Star in the Forest? Answer? A dog. Correct. Chipmunks. How did Origami Yoda help kids with their pop quiz in the book The Strange Case of Origami Yoda? Okay. How did Origami Yoda help the kids with their pop quiz? Answer? Pass.
He told them they were gonna have a pop quiz so they could study.
Correct. Bees. In Lake Placid for a competitive team. Correct. Rainbow trout in the book Jake by Audrey Columbus. What happens to Jake's mother?
He slips on ice.
Slips and falls, breaks her leg. Correct. Bobcats. In the book Stuck on Earth by David Klass, how does Ketchvar crawl into the brain of Tom Philbrook? Through his nostril. So who doesn't want to read that book? Okay, Moose. In the book The Year of Goodbyes by Debbie Levy, what religion was the girl's family? Correct. Leopard frogs. In Dream of Night, Jessalyn takes care of Shiloh and the horse. Why does Shiloh live with Jessalyn?
Because she's a foster kid.
Correct. Chipmunks. In the book Mockingbird by Catherine Erskine, what talent does Caitlin have that surprises the kids in class? It's in the book Mockingbird by Catherine Erskine. I think I'll take that out.
She's very smart.
That may be correct, but it's not the answer we're looking for. Bobcats?
Drawing.
Drawing. She's an excellent artist. That's her talent. Bees. In what state does the book Sources of Light by Margaret McMullen take place? What state? Answer?
Pass.
Okay. Mooses. In what state does the book Sources of Light by Margaret McMullen take place?
Mississippi.
Correct. Rainbow trout. In One Crazy Summer, Delphine is an 11-year-old girl that has a lot of responsibility. She goes with her sisters to visit someone for the summer. Who do they go to see? Correct. Bobcats. Who does Zumi live with in the book The Danger Box by Blue Bayliot?
His grandparents.
Correct. Moose. In the book Half Brother by Kenneth Opel, what kind of brother does Ben have? A chimpanzee, correct. Leopard frogs. In Turtle in Paradise by Jennifer Holm, Turtle hangs out with a group of kids called the Diaper Gang. How did they get their name? Answer?
They babysit and change diapers.
Correct. They take care of crying babies. And Chipmunks. At the End of the Grimm Legacy by Polly Schulman, Elizabeth goes for a ride with Aaron. What do they ride on?
A flying carpet.
A flying carpet. Yes, they do. Bees. In the book Milo, Sticky Notes and Brain Freeze by Alan Silverberg, what holiday do Milo's dad and sister try to skip over?
Mother's Day.
Yes, they do. Rainbow trout. In The Reinvention of Moxie Roosevelt by Elizabeth Kimmel, what was Moxie's personality log? And this is another question that might take some explaining, so you may choose to designate, if the spokesperson didn't read the book, he or she may designate someone else to do the talking for the group.
Okay. So it's like her journal where she keeps all her personalities in it.
Correct. In the book Murder Afloat by Jane Conley, what was Ben's promise to his friend Rolf? What was Ben's promise to his friend Rolf?
That they would go to the picnic. That they would go to the picnic.
No. And who's got Miss Kindergarten? Okay, leopard frogs. In the book Murder Afloat by Jane Conley, what was Ben's promise to his friend Rolf? Mary?
That he would tell his wife that he was okay.
We're conferring, Mary, just one moment. Chipmunks? Do you have an answer? In the book Murder Afloat by Jane Conley, what was Ben's promise to his friend Rolf?
He would come back and save Rolf.
No. Bees? No. Rainbow trout?
Make sure that she was safe.
Bobcat? Make sure that she was safe.
What's the question again?
In the book Murder Afloat by Jane Conley, what was Ben's promise to his friend Rolf? Answer. Do we have an answer?
That they would, he would try to make sure that they, that their friends back home knew that they were okay.
Moose.
To tell Rolf's wife that Rolf loves them. Loves him, the wife and the child.
Why?
Why couldn't Rolf tell them himself?
Because I believe he got put on an island. He went to an island because he was sick or something.
So Satchel settled though.
Okay. Correct. All right, Moose. You get the next question as it is. In Grounded by Kate Kliss, Daryl Lynn's mother worries that the funeral home will go out of business, and then she will lose her job as a hairstylist there. What idea does Daryl Lynn have to keep the funeral home in business? Answer?
To put the fun back in funeral.
Okay, and how do they propose to put the fun back in funerals? What's different about these funerals? Say again, Satchel. A living funeral, correct. Thank you, Ella. Okay, a living funeral. Leopard frogs. Where does the book Touch Blue by Cynthia Lord take place? And we're looking for, this is a geography answer here. This will be a geography answer. Where does the book Touch Blue by Cynthia Lord take place? Answer?
An island in the Maine area.
Yes. An island off the coast of Maine. Thank you. And chipmunks. In the book Belly Up by Stuart Gibbs, Teddy is trying to figure out a murder. Who was murdered? Answer? Henry the Hippo. So contestants, that completes our contest. Our contest. What we're going to do now is we'll do some tallying, and then we'll announce score totals. And once again, on behalf of the Ilsley Library, Addison Central Supervisory Union Schools, the Bridge School, and readers throughout Addison County, I want to thank you all for coming and participating in this contest. I hope you had some fun today answering these questions about all the great books that you've read this year. While the judges are still conferring, contestants, one thing I would encourage you to do also is to thank the people at your school.
From your pocket. On your ticket, there's a little number, okay?
Then we have 266. Followed by 275. 278. 293.
principles and